What's up, guys? Kevin here. Actually recording from my PC instead of my phone, stepping things up for 2021. Um, no, but I just want to make a video about Ubisoft games potentially coming to Game Pass. And it makes a lot of sense. Got Game Pass open right here for PC. A lot of great games. Downloading Greedfall, which is PS Plus game for January. But Game Pass is Xbox's, that is their crown. That is their draw to the Xbox platform is Game Pass. Hopefully when Halo Infinite comes out, it's Halo Infinite. But Game Pass is pretty awesome. PlayStation Now is pretty awesome. I accidentally bought 2 years of PlayStation Now because I thought it was 2 years of PlayStation Plus. But I was looking through PlayStation Plus and it's pretty alright. It's alright. I think Game Pass is better. Look, you got Doom Eternal, you got Gears Tactics, which is amazing. You got Among Us. Probably the biggest game of the year. And No Man's Sky. And this is just Gears 5, Hive Busters, which is amazing. It's DLC, but you can play it on Game Pass. But this story is about Ubisoft games coming to Game Pass, which seems likely. Was it Jez from Windows Central? He said it's probably going to happen. And I see a few others on Twitter saying it's probably going to happen. Xbox has a pretty good relationship with Ubisoft. They always market their games. We know they marketed Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and that would be a huge get. They have EA games. Is there an EA games section? You'd think there would be, right? All games. But usually EA games usually have a tag or something. I think that's what the EA wants. Like, hey, we'll put all our games on Game Pass. But, put this special tag on them so they stand out. I'm not seeing that. Weird. Very weird. Rage 2, Tales of Vesperia. But Ubisoft has a really good relationship with Microsoft. And yeah, rumor Uplay to hit Game Pass. So yeah, I think it's going to happen. We know 2021 should be the year Halo Infinite comes out, but other than that, it seems pretty light year for Microsoft. They have like a bunch of little titles coming out. So, and especially with the announcement that PlayStation 5 is kicking ass. They're doing very well, and they are loaded this year. They got Returnal, they got Starsky and Hutch, what was it? Ratchet and Clank, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, God of War Ragnarok. I mean, both those games coming out in 2021, and then maybe Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil Village may come out in 2021. I think that is coming to Xbox as well, but it just feels like a PlayStation game. So PlayStation's set for 2021. I think Xbox, if they want to stick around, they're going to have to do something with Game Pass. And Ubisoft games coming to Game Pass would be huge. Would be huge. Now, Ubisoft does have Uplay. They have like kind of an EA access site where you can, I think for $15, play all the Uplay games or Ubisoft games. But it's nice to have all these games in one service. It's kind of like what Hulu did. Hulu kind of got all these networks together, and at least back in the day, to say, hey, let's put all our shows kind of one place, kind of consolidate. Now it's kind of to the point where now everyone's kind of branching out again, which I think we will see eventually. But right now it's Game Pass. And that's the thing, though. It's like the only other big one out there is Sony. Sony's the only one out there who can really compete in terms of providing anything that can compete with Game Pass. I think the PlayStation Plus collection is really their new PlayStation now. It's excellent. They just said, hey, we're just going to put the most excellent, best, essential PlayStation collection titles that we think you should play. And that'll be a perk for getting PS Plus. PlayStation Now just seems still seems half-baked. It seems like there's no love and care. We know Jim Ryan says there's going to be something that's going to compete with Game Pass that they'll announce. I think they're just going to go all in on the PlayStation collection because they do add games to it, and it is a pretty sweet deal. You pretty much get all the big PlayStation 4 titles, and I assume eventually you're going to get the PlayStation 5 titles that are coming out. Wouldn't be surprising down the road we see Demon Souls and all the other big titles, but yeah, Ubisoft games coming to Game Pass is huge. They had 3 titles come out in the last couple months. They had Legion, Watch Dogs Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the very underrated Immortals Phoenix Rising, which a lot of people, it's going to be a game that feels underrated, but I think in a couple months people are going to be like, yeah, I played it, you played it, it's freaking great. But if all these games come to Game Pass, I mean, it's over. Game Pass is it. Now, my only issue with Game Pass, and I can see it becoming to a point where you get a lot of games not coming to Game Pass because it's like, I can't stick out on Game Pass anymore. Game Pass was excellent when it was like 100, 200 games. But now they're going to have, what, 300, 400, 500 games with all Microsoft games and all their studios, including Bethesda, EA Access, and then now Ubisoft games. And you know damn well EA Access and Uplay or Ubisoft, they're going to make sure that their games are front and center on Game Pass. They're going to make sure they're worked in the algorithm very nicely because what's in it for them? People play these games and they go, wow, I paid what, $5, $10, $15, $1 from Pop Tarts to play these games on Game Pass. Hell yeah, I'm going to buy the season pass. Hell yeah, I'm going to buy some microtransactions. So that's where these companies are seeing Game Pass as a success, as a place where they want to put their games. But you know damn well that they're going to work in the algorithm like, hey, Microsoft, we're Ubisoft, multi-billions of dollars. Our games are huge. Games are very expensive. So we're going to put on your service. You're going to have to work us in the algorithm to where where the first thing you see is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That's just how it is. And then it's just like all these little titles. Let's look here. Forger. See, you'll start seeing these Forgers, all these little games. Faster Than Light, which is awesome. Greedfall is a nice little game. All these little games will probably start going away. They probably will go to other services if they're not seeing the benefit. But it depends on how they even got set up with Game Pass anyways. Maybe Microsoft funded, heck, hey, we'll fund your game if come to Game Pass. So there's some deals that work out in the background. From what I understand, there's no one way that these games end up on Game Pass. Like, oh, we give you money, you come to Game Pass. From what I understand, a lot of these studios come to Phil Spencer's like, hey, put our game on Game Pass. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. That'll be huge. It'll be huge for 2021. And then as soon as Halo Infinite comes out, I want them to take their time, as we just saw with Cyberpunk 2077. But from there, they just got to start putting their foot on the throat of Sony and just be like, hey, we got all these studios. We're going to be releasing games every single month or every other month just because they're that loaded. And hopefully it'll get to a point where Sony can't keep up and maybe they buy more studios or they figure something out, because Sony just feels like they're being very traditional, very reluctant to get with the times. Because what pissed me off about Sony is like, hey man, I just bought a broken ass game in Cyberpunk 2077, and it took you to take the game down to be able to give refunds. Where Microsoft, they give me a great Game Pass option here where I'm like, yo, $15 a month. I don't care if I I can play Final Fantasy VIII and it sucks and I'm not out $60. I can play Dragon Quest XI pretty much for free. And I should because I already played it on Switch and PlayStation. So, that's my thoughts. And I will talk to you guys later. Later.